welcome back. Ooh, happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy hump day. If you celebrate hump day, I'll put my stuff away. Never ready when I'm ready. Never ready when I'm ready. But thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for hanging out. This is Arts of the Round Table. My name is Mello. These are nibs. I was messing around with some ink, some quill nib pens. I gotta fix some of these. That's what that is. That's a tiger. That's Ifo, my character. We are going to continue to be painting this on canvas. This is gouache on canvas. And we're just going to hang and bang today. I'm just putting everything in front of me so I can make a mess. But, yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. Earlier today, I was painting this piece. Give me 1 second. Sorry, you guys. I moved a bunch of stuff while I was trying to clean up. So, oh man, my back. Evie, how you doing? Is it Evie? So, yeah, so this is what I'm going to be doing today. I'm actually going to be doing 2 pieces. I'm going to try to do two things at once. Maybe. Just because I want to stay using a particular color scheme. I cleaned up my palette, my wet palette. After I did this piece. This I painted yesterday. These Evie, it's too loud? Gotcha. Sorry about that. Hopefully you guys can hear me a bit better. My producer yelling in my ear. I kid. I keep moving things out of frame. DW, how you doing? So this I drew yesterday, the tiger and my character here, Ifo. In my story, there's a 10-year gap between the epilogue, the prologue. Prologue first, epilogue last. Is that right? Anyway, before the beginning of the story. And this was just something that I was messing around with. Evie says I did 2 pieces on a live. One dried while I worked on the other. Well, as you know, gouache loves to dry off quickly, only to always be active. Gouache, I always say that is alive, meaning it doesn't matter if it dried. You dip a little moisture on that bad boy, and it will come back to life. So I've been using a wet palette. If you paint small, this is fairly small, 11 by 14. These artboards are 8 by 10. When I first started, I wasn't using a wet palette like this, and my paints would dry, and I couldn't get consistency. I kept adding more water, and it would dilute and muddy out my paintings. This simple contraption has changed the way my paintings have looked within the last 3-4 months, and I don't think I'll go back. The paint that I used for these 3 was on one palette. I just would add a little bit more just to add more. But in this one I did on, correct me D-Dub, I can't remember, last week. Started and finished this one last week. Started this one Monday, painted it on Tuesday, painted it yesterday. And then using that same palette, the same mud. Oh, actually. Ooh, I'm a garbage picker. This was it. This was the palette I used for those three. I kept the white paint because why not white paint? So anywho, before I got rid of it and refreshed it, I painted this. So we're going to actually do a bit of back and forth. We're going to see if we can work on both the artboard. I'm getting like an echo. We're going to try to go back and forth. Yes, it is. The wet palette is from Amazon. I'm frugal. I think this thing cost me $6. Absolutely worth it. And gouache, a little goes a long way with gouache sometimes. But when you're painting, it seems to just run out really quickly. The only time it feels like gouache lasts forever is when you're trying to clean it off of a regular palette, and then it just seems to just go on forever. All right, so I think that's what we're gonna do. You just did pretty new to gouache, and it's very different from watercolor. Yes, it is pretty different from watercolor, even though it's considered a watercolor gouache medium, whatever that means. Give me a second. Yeah. Like I just got these. I haven't opened them yet. I'm still working on some Winsor Newton. I got a bunch of other paints. Winsor. I started with Hemi gouache. What are you using, Evie, on your initial gouache journey? I'm using a set of high quality opaque watercolor premium gouache paints. So they are considered watercolor, but not really. Yeah, it would have been a Monday. All right. Should we start painting? So I think what I'm going to work on, I'm going to do the background. I want to set him up. Oh yeah, when you're trying to clean a brush, it lasts forever. She's going to be warm color, so a lot of blues, some greens in here. The sword is going to be all right. What's up, Saboteur? How you doing? I'm actually going to use this sword as my reference for that sword. It's the same person. Her and her. Different age, obviously. She's 2021, give or take, here. She is about sorry, 11, 12, something like that. In that shot. Keep moving the camera, I'm so sorry. So yeah, same person. Evie, if you want, if you click on the link that I have pinned as the very first comment, it'll lead you to the full desk. This shot here is more for the vertical stream, but it's up to you, however comfortable. So you use Sui and Shinhan. Shinhan, I didn't know Shinhan did gouache. I used to use their markers, their ooh-hoo-hoo-hoos before they became ooh-hoo-hoos, I think. This is going to be a very bright background, almost early daylight. So it's going to be a lot of white, a lot of cream here. So and my palette's pretty simple. Ultramarine, primary blue, black, mid-yellow, vermilion, burnt sienna, which is my favorite, and white. I might use this down here. And when I'm painting here, you'll see me occasionally come and grab some paint and close my palette. I live in Florida, so it's pretty warm here, and I got the fans on, so all of it is fighting against my gouache. All right. I need more grays. Texas. That's a dry heat. A little Bill Paxton for you. I'm gonna add some yellow and oranges to the edge of this blade. Being careful not to mix it with my blues because I don't want green. Not yet. Oh, okay? No, that's not too bad. You dried them up and use them that way. Some are good that way. Some gouache paints I've seen done that way. I can't remember. There's a Christian Salva uses them that way. But I think that it works best if the quality, if it's like for real, artist quality paints. If you're like me and you're just as frugal, Hemi gouache, no. My Hemi gouache is my original collection of Hemi molded up. I don't even know if that's a word. Got moldy on me and I had to get rid of them. So I went from using the pans to squeezing from the tube. What's up, JOM? How you doing, bro? And I found the tubes right now to be the way to go. And with the wet palette, I haven't suffered any dry paint, or adding too much or adding too little. Especially with the wet palette. And again, I don't think it's used primarily for this purpose. I think the wet palette gets used a lot for painting models, model kits. But hey, man, we use it for what we need it for. Yeah, you gotta get, oh, thank you, man. So these are the paints that I have here. And I bounce around for what I need, right? These are the most expensive ones that I have, the most pricey. And I don't think I've ever used them. I think I created a swatch of them and never used them. I have this weird, it might be a phobia, or maybe it's I know it's mental. That's easy. I have this thing about using expensive or overpriced stuff when I'm learning. It just makes me feel self-conscious about wasting or ruining or making a mistake, and that's a Mel problem, not one that I wish upon anybody. But it's kind of a stupid thing that I deal with. The higher in price the thing is, the less likely I'm going to use it, and I ended up buying those as a way to encourage me to keep going, so that these would be my prize paints to go and use. And I've done okay, and have done very well with lease or student grade or less pricey paints that meh, it is what it is. So I had the Hemi gouaches for a while. I went and grabbed these Artezas, which are kind of like in the same price point. I gotcha. And I want very good quality. I will use. I hear you. Yeah. Or bury them with you when you go. Take them with me. The Artezas are really good. As you can see, I used the heck out of them. I have a mix of these. I have some pearlescent or metallic gouache that I've used sparingly. I still haven't cracked the code on how to use these correctly. So lately, what I'll do on my most recent paintings, and I'll grab them up here if you want to check it out, are the Artezas and my Winsor Newton. And as soon as they start dissipating, I'm going to open up that castle. All right, what am I doing? Because you don't know. The thing with me is I started painting with gouache maybe 4 years ago. Basically with this channel. So I'm basically documenting for newbies, because I'm a newbie. And I try to share that thought about not having to deal with such expensive things and stuff like that. Maybe people don't deal with the same phobias I deal with. But very early, people always ask, what do you use? What kind of paper? What kind of this? What kind of that? And I'm not the type to have you rush to a store to spend an absorbent amount of money on a type of paper that the only defining quality of it is its name. If you can do amazing work on a garbage bag, I'll recommend the garbage bag. And I'll share it. I'm just trying to get an ideal color that blade to kind of like reflect the tiger a bit. So I'm just playing with a bunch of different colors, and then I'm just going to add darker chrome like. Just mixing some blues and greens. And he says, do you have a favorite gouache painting you have done, either where everything went really smoothly or where you overcame a lot of struggle and loved the result? I'm reading at the garbage bag list. Yeah, DW. I think the one that I mentioned before, the one with Batman and Gordon, and it's not even the best one. I think it's because it's one of the earliest ones. It was after a full year of practicing and getting into the groove of it, and it really did kind of like, as I was painting it, going, I didn't know I can do that, and I'll share it in a hot second. It's still one of my favorites. I have it framed and hanging up. And the best thing about it is the same thing I was mentioning earlier. Hemi and Walmart mixed media paper. And I think about it a lot still, because I go, how the heck did I do that? It's kind of a silly thing to think. But I think when I was painting it, I didn't think about it. I wasn't thinking about anything. I don't think I was. And I think it's still one of the most honest interpretations from me of my art style and what I really wanted to try to do. And then I went into like full blown this. Currently though, this tiger right there. Give me 1 sec. It's probably going to look nuts because of all the equipment behind it, but I think you guys get the idea. Still my favorite. It still has some really cool, almost like watercolor, not sure type of painted strokes. I never finished Batman's gut. But I love the reddishness of Commissioner Gordon's face. Still my favorite. I think that one by far is the one for me that answers that question. Have you tried Mead and Gouache? I was going to actually purchase some Medines, but the price point was very similar to those Castle, if I remember. Maybe a couple bucks more or less. I think these were a couple bucks more or less. And of course, this has the new improved formula, whatever the heck that means. So fans of the old school formula, kick rocks. But no, I was going to, maybe next time. I have no allegiance to any type of gouache paint right now. I haven't seen any that really have made me go, oh brother, that is terrible. So I'm gonna start bringing this tiger up front. Have how you got their skin tones are my favorite. For that one, yeah. Me too. And you know what it was? I was looking at a lot of Leyendecker. If I have to, maybe I can get. Do I have a copy of that painting somewhere? I was looking at a lot of Leyendecker. Which was kind of like the feel that I was going for. I need to add some yellows in here. I would love to do a full-on Leyendecker study. That would be fun to do. There's one thing that he does that I'm amazed by is how he the way he layers in the background, thick layers of the white paint. But I think he used a lot of tempera. I know he used gouache on certain things, but I'm curious if he did that. All right, I'm gonna add some yellow. I'm trying to get a beige color. So I'm gonna mix some burnt and some yellow and then a lot of white. Ooh, a Wednesday Leyendecker, heck y'all. He was an amazing painter, period, so. Yeah, I could put a egg tempura. I could put his book, point a camera at the book. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. All right. Let me see, what else? I think the Doom recently, just because metal is so difficult to render, and from the Doom to Megatron. But I really have been like, I've been wanting to do more portraits. Even as I'm doing these hero paintings of my characters, I think that might be the way to go. Hey Arfley, how you doing? My dog is outside losing his mind. Very nice, Tiger. Tanks. I don't do animals as much. This one took me a lot of looking at a bunch of different references on Pinterest to get how I wanted it to look. Which is why you see my grid here. I had to do some photo bashing just to get it. and then play with the measurements to fit my story. Did Tema finish? No, she did. Hit her up some hearts. Make sure you guys go back in there and thumbs up. Give a thumbs up to Tema's vid. Tema, how you doing? We're back here. I haven't done much anything different. I'm just kind of like removing some of the background and painting the sword. And we was talking about some Leyendecker. We might end up doing a Leyendecker study. But are we going to do a study in painting or drawing, right? Because he was amazing at both. I'm not. So if you guys are wondering what this is all about, you would have to be drawing, painting. No painting abilities? We could do both. We'll do them both, man. This young lady here is one of the main characters in a story that I was able to write. And will be slowly developing into graphic form for the rest of my life, it seems, which I'm okay with that. I've been hanging out with too many artists, too many comic book artists who are amazing at this stuff, and like I said, the hubris that I had to think that I could match them. But they have all been very welcoming. I'm trying to cool up some of this light now so I can give them shadow tones underneath. The story, I think it started coming into fruition maybe about a year ago. I started and finished it, I think in April or May, when I really started putting out fingers to keyboard. And it kind of just went from there. And it never really ends, right? You just keep adding different things to it. But yeah. Good gravy. Why is New York calling me? The story was going to start out a bit more tragic than how it ended up. I think I've told you this already. The main hero's family was going to get Disneyed, the whole family. So I'm glad we changed that. I credit my son for that. because it all really started as a kind of like a not a challenge, but an internal challenge to myself. Can I do it? Can I write a story? Can I not only write it, can I draw it? And it was going to be, uh, it was going to be 6, 7 pages, simple premise. And then it changed, which it came out better that way, I think. How different that tiger looks now that the background is a bit muted. On speed dial? No, man. Spidman? Have you guys seen the movie? I was able to go see on Sunday. Great movie, by the way. Any more yellow? Right? Like I had this one here that I'm going to be painting momentarily. Where are you? Where are you? We only did the kid's suit here. It's gonna be close to how her background is. Just lighter in color. Lighter blue here, just because his outfit's a bit more subdued, more greens, and then the same type of yellowish. Maybe not so much fire from her, but we're gonna stay in that same rhythm. I've been looking at a lot of black and white Conan books. These books here. This is what has been my a little lightning and thunder. What has been my reference material, my study material for the last month or so, studying some of the ink work and the detailed work and backgrounds like foliage. Like some of this stuff really is difficult to make out, especially this artist's, but it's slowly coming together. But a lot of this, I look at it and I'm actually willing to scan or paint, so I can paint and see what colors look like on it. Yeah, I did that earlier. Where could it be? Are you in here? I am collecting way too many pieces. How you doing, Ike? Show off some old gouache. Pow. I love that caricature of Macho Man. But yeah, this is the type of stuff. If I can really get into the realism, I know I'm playing a lot. Some loosey-goosey on realism and cartoonishness, which is kind of like my drawing style anyway. That cartoonish realism. I would love to redo this. You see how kind of muted? I know, I think the light dissipating in my office and my camera's doing a lot of heavy lifting. Oh yeah, you already know. JOM. Rises to the top. How muted the colors were because of constantly having to add water, and then that causes your colors to become muddy. You can see all the layers that I try to put on top. Completely different. Did I date this? I need to start dating my paintings a bit more. I think the only way I know that it's dated is if I look at the picture when I took it. Oh yeah. Well, you guys know. Ooh, yeah. Interestingly enough, this is from a photograph that he actually had that handkerchief, Scully handkerchief. He did not have the torn shirt, and that's my hand as reference. I think I was holding an eraser. I had so much trouble. It's hard for me to draw cute stuff. That's why I gotta give him a gun. Yeah, you can still see how muddy and dark, because I was fighting with the colors. It's vibrant. Again, my camera is doing a lot of heavy lifting. And in Real K instead of 4K. That white around the helmet is doing a ton of heavy lifting. Are we still on? Lightning's messing stuff up. I would love to try to redo some of these. These are all ready to get painted. I can feel the texture on them. I don't know why I never did. Yes. Artfully, he would do the Slim Jim commercials as well. My blue period, these were all drawn in May, but then finally painted in November. I don't know why it took me that long. Confidence is a fickle thing. So, and then I stayed monochromatic for these studies, and that's also helpful. If you guys know me, I love monochromatic. I love gray and charcoal. And of course, we got to do some watercolor. I can't find it. course. Wow. All right, this is the one. Good Lord, this is the one I was looking for. So this drawing, it's a little bit creepy, but it was from a Conan piece. So, and this is using arches, Tema. After your warning of use it or lose it, I was able to draw and then ink and then paint over it, and there was no reference for color because the reference was in black and white. So this was really cool to try to figure out, even though it doesn't make sense. It's supposed to be a hoodie. Figure it out. Monochrome is useful though. Probably why you're as good as you are today. All those monochrome studies. It's the black and white. It's pencil. I'll sit here and draw with pencil all day. I think the hardest part for me is transferring color to color from graphite. It's been a bit easier lately, a bit more freeing and experimental. Oh yeah, I got some more. I was even able to as I lose it again. Nope. I'm able to print it. Print on arches. So this was a concept drawing for the cover of my graphic novel, or just something that I was thinking about as a cover for my story of the ghost of Arlan. That is our heroine, that is her brother, that's her uncle. So these three people are those three. That's her, that's him up there, and little homie. I didn't quite like the way he looked there, but I didn't mind the placement. So that's him. I think on Monday, I'm going to be drawing that guy in the center, the titular ghost of Arlan. But this is a sheet of Arches paper that I was able to print. And I figured, oh, that might be a great way for me not have to draw on here. I can draw on my regular paper without restrictions, not having to worry about how this feels. And it took the ink pretty well. I don't know what'll happen if I start on how to do it. I'll send you the info on my printer. It's pretty big. My printer can hold up to it doesn't have a feeder, so you don't stock paper. Because it's a big format printer, I can print 11 by 17, so all my comic book sheets. This size, I can print on it, so that's why I got it. From recommendation from my homie Saboteur, from Saboteur Comics. So this is 11 by 17 standard comic book size. This is what they use and divide up before it gets shrunken down to comic book form. So I can draw on this. I got a giant scanner, full scale scanner that I can actually scan this into. And then I print them out after I tweak them and do all that stuff. Ooh, Grady Fredericks. I'll have to check it out. I don't think the name sounds familiar though. we can get back to painting. For the printers and the scanner? Yeah, and of course it depends. It's all going to depend on the type of artwork that you're going to be producing, right? It serves my purpose because I was pushing into the comic book graphic era. It won't help me in terms of this, but because I've been using that paper, I'm gonna have to turn on my light. Isn't it weird? Doesn't it look like that's moving? Is it this? Oh man, I'm losing it. I was like, ooh, I need a little motion sickness. All right, what are we doing here? Okay. Shall we paint her? I have to turn on my light. It's gotten really dark in here because it's raining outside. All right, that should be better. That should be better. Scooch her over so people can see. All right. You're absolutely right. It would help. It would allow you to draw on your iPad and print off art to paint it. Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, I'll send you the info. I'll send you the information. Absolutely. I'm going to mix both my blues. I'm going to use green kind of like as a highlight, but not too green. I want it. I kind of like that. Also, one thing I've also been trying to avoid is using black paint for my shadows. So I'll use some blues and burnt sienna to go as far as it can go. It just becomes kind of like a very neutral gray, and then I'll add a bit of black, but it's not the most dominant, and then I can play with it in sense of how much of any other color. If I want a cooler shadow, which is what I'm trying to do for her suit, because her outfit is blue, kind of a darkish blue, light blue highlight, representing a young girl in Ute. And Tema, if you want to write this down, it is a Canon Pixma, Pixma, and the model number is IX682. This is my shadow. So let's draw these. Let's paint these shadows. Now I have an idea. This drawing is very loose. So this was something that I've been wanting to do and kind of like be a bit more, and it's been happening with my other hero paintings. And when I call them hero paintings, and not necessarily because that's the nature of the character, I call them that because they are the best representation of how I want them to look. But yeah, using being a bit more loose and expressive early and not worrying about what it's going to look like, or being too tight early on, letting it come out, letting the drawing come out, the painting come out. I had a habit of, and I still, there's still certain things that I like to do, like I always want a win, a small win somewhere in here. So there will be something in here that I will spend a bit more time early. No, man, he's just doing. Oh, there you go. Tell him, Broadway. Peter Palmiotti, how you doing, sir? Great stream yesterday, man. That was awesome. That was awesome. I was actually painting a bit of this guy yesterday while I was watching you and your squad, and doing a bit of inking and studies. I'm doing a bunch of Conan studies and pen and ink studies, but while I was that was great. And if you guys don't know, Peter Palmiotti is inker extraordinaire, comic book artist, inker. Check out his stuff if you get an opportunity to. You shan't be disappointed. I'm going to zoom in here. So what I'm doing now with my blue, which is the base of the base color for her outfit, I'm just placing it and then rubbing it into the shadows. And what it does is kind of blends in pretty good with the black, because this is still behind her. So it's not necessarily too bright. But it's, again, it's still the base. There will be other layers on top, and I can blend it with that gray to subdue it a bit more. Yeah, dude, it was fun. It was fun to just sit back and witness a bunch of talented people, man. I'm telling you. You had the invite, man. I was gonna raise my hand, but I'm like, it's like sitting with a bunch of celebrities. What am I gonna sit there and say? Can I get you some water, sir? I could virtually get you guys water. Nova Draws, how you doing? It's been a while. Also, one thing that I learned, I guess Instagram is not gonna get any updates because I forgot to hit record on my phone, so I'll put it away. That's my little homie. That's Quill. He's doing that terrible dream last night. Buddy, that's my dog. That's my dog. Can I pet that dog? It has been a minute. You're doing great. You just have to work. Boo. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you got it. Somebody in here got to work. Oh, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, I don't know. I don't normally stream on my own stuff on a Tuesday, but heck yeah, I'll jump on and I'll be the rookie. I want to add some yellow. One of the cool things about gouache, how we was talking about it being a watercolor style medium, kind of like the same but different, is the type where you can just ghost in some colors and it'll just blend in. And Peter, that'll be the day that I won't be able to draw a straight line. All right, let's keep building. Oh yeah, I would never boo you, Nova. She has reddish brown hair. The bang's too big. The bang's too big. Little technical difficulties. Give me 1 second. There you go. Nova, have a fantastic evening. I'll definitely see you soon. See you again soon, bud. Budette. You guys want a simple flesh tone? It's kind of like one color away from the Zorn palette, really. Mid-yellow, vermilion, which is kind of redundant in that color scheme. All these three colors are kind of redundant. Mid-yellow, vermilion, and burnt sienna. You get kind of like that bland color, not too bad, and then you could just keep adding the type of shadow that you're looking for. In this case, we're just going to keep it simple. I'm going to add cooler shadows, meaning I'm going to add a little bit more blue. One, because it's reflecting the dark lights from her skirt. Right. And you gotta always clean your brush, man. We had this thing earlier about gouache being always alive, and it's never really away from your pencil. I'm gonna add some yellow. Kind of give her a glowing appearance. And if it's too much, we'll remove it. But that doesn't look too bad. As we slow it down a bit in the 5 o'clock hour. What do you guys, don't make me turn on my radio voice. What are you guys working on today? If anything, if you're not doing anything, that's cool. You don't have to do anything. We could do nothing together. It's a very unnatural looking color, but bless you. Editing videos, inking dinner soon. Oh, you're inking and dinner? I can dig it. Yeah, brother, I was trying to be like Pete. Brought out the nib. Look at that mess. That must make you cringe. That must put the hairs in the back of your head on end. Look at how messed up that is. I gotta clean this. Sorry, I just did that. Sorry, I showed that to you. Sorry, man. Sorry. Invite rescinded. We are doing pizza. I did the dough earlier during the afternoon, and then we do homemade dough. We have not bought delivery pizza in years. It's too easy to make the dough. Ooh, that's cool. So yeah, I'm gonna read what you guys are doing here. Ike says he's editing a video. I got a video that I had on edit, basically on ignore for a while now. Peter's thinking about to eat. We'll make dinner. DW says yesterday he got inspired by the Spidey and Hulk drawing I did. Thank you very much. You did your own, except you switched out the Hulk with the Rhino leaping down on Spinman. That's cool, man. You gotta show it. Where's my... I didn't finish that piece, but I'll show you what it looks like now. And then Tama says, Ike's editing, that means new video soon. Yep, and you're cleaning the hizzy and doing laundry. That's what's up. This is the Hulk piece that I was doing. When was this? Monday? Today is Wednesday. Monday afternoon. I did some more inking on it with the brush. In 5 minutes, the countdown begins. Added a bit of smirk. Detroit Motor City. I don't know for why. I read that quickly and read Detroit motor oil pizza, and I'm like, what? I haven't bought. If there's any pizza that I'm ever going to buy from a store, a pizzeria, I'm going back to Boston. There's a place called New York Pizza on Mass Avenue. That's the only place. Sorry. But as for my Spider-Man here, I use gesso on this thing, so this is blue pencil. This blue Prismacolor erase. And we found out while drawing that it doesn't stick and you can just easily erase all of it. So I put some of the shading in just so I can keep it in mind. Way to go, Mel. But I kind of like it. Now the only thing I'm thinking about is how the heck I'm going to paint it. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Oh yeah, New York pizza all day. I'm not going to be painting her face. It's too small to be in here adding all that detail. So I'm just going to build it with shadows. Deep dish. I think I may have fallen into the trap of trying to get this thing more detailed than what I should have been doing. So I might have to step back. But it's early, so we was talking about that, getting into this in the ugly phase. The angle looks really funky. Yo, Ike's Pentel brush work is something to study. It really is. Whoop, whoop. I'm sorry if I get quiet. Let me over here start concentrating a little too much. I'd be lousy. Our food says you'd be lousy doing lines because you can't draw and paint and talk at the same time. Well, our homie right there drawing while talking. It says he has the same issue. It is kind of weird. Both this person here is not a full adult. She is in this setup about 11, 12 years old. That is her father's sword. She can barely lift. But the tiger in my world, they're a little bit bigger. And that might be a cub or kitten. Do jungle cats have cubs or kittens? Right? Because you don't say a lion kitten, you say a lion cub, a tiger cub. So then why do domesticated cats have kittens? Ha! Artfully, you nailed it. I have a thing with David and Goliath. I'm constantly trying to build to the David and Goliath. In fact, in one of these workshops, I have a David drawing that I've had for several months. There's too much water in here. That I'm finally going to paint. But yeah, she's a young person. But it's kind of weird how it looks straight down. Did I draw it weird? There you go. No, she still looks too, she is small. They're huge. Saber-toothed tigers. What can you do? You know, I think it would be kind of hilarious. A reimagining of Dorothy and Oz. Have a lion in here instead of a tiger. Kind of cool. Is the Wizard of Oz public domain yet? Is this the think tank for that story? drawing little people is very difficult. So that's my excuse. Gotta reinterpret all my characters. That's right. That's right. The uncle could be the cowardly lion. Ooh, I see what you're trying to do there, bud. Is it the legs? Did I make the legs too thick? She's holding a giant sword. I'd give it up to all these pulp artists and all of these science fiction artists to be able to make sense out of the stuff that makes no sense. So, as I sit here and try to make my character look heroic without looking weird, I think those legs are too big. Do some legectomies here. I'm getting so much glare from my lights. kind of like the exaggerated bang. It almost looks cartoonish. And there she is. Poor brother. I was supposed to add a bit of color on his sketch there. I guess he's gonna have to wait till Friday. Yeah. Nah, man, that's that's my cat Broadway. Broadway is gonna be her own character here in my show eventually, her own celebrity. If only she would come down here. She's old. She's about 16 years old. She's deaf, so she has no volume control. So she gets her meow on, man, whenever she wants, and she doesn't know how loud she is. But she can't do no wrong. That was one thing yesterday. When all you guys started talking about your cats, I'm like, I was like, Broadway, your people. Yeah, we absolutely work for them. Maybe that's what she's yelling up there. Draw, monkey, draw. Talk. Talk to him. We have a bunch. Not a bunch, but we have 2 cats and a dog. I have to stop. I'm falling into a weird habit of cleaning my brush, but leaving a ton of water. And what happens is when I grab my paints, it stays too wet. And I don't want that. That's so graphic. All right. Well, that. Move that over. Move that over. Sorry, guys. I want to do the background on this thing before the day is over. I'm going to set this aside a bit. I think I'm looking at it too much. Not that I don't like it, but I'm scrutinizing as I'm painting it. So I need to step away a bit, and then I'll get back to it. But I'm digging it. All right, let's see if we can get some background on this kid. Ooh. Tell him, Broadway, tell him. Oh, there she is. You know what's great? Uh, because cats don't really respond to their name anyway. We don't know when she's been deaf because she's never responded to she's never responded to us. She's been playing us all along. You guys can't see that, can you? Alright. This is what I use this for. You get some of it. Let me see, can I change the angle here? That's not too bad. I'm losing it. Paint all over my dang fingers. Ouch. So yeah, I think all of us, most of us, everybody saw that Spider-Man Brand New Day. Very well done. Very fun. Interesting to see where they're gonna go. I think it did more world building for the MCU than most of the stuff they've done recently. I won't spoil nothing, but if you know, you know. Have a fantastic rest of your day, Tim, and thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you for both streams. Thank you, thank you. What is it, 142? Yeah, I'm close to calling it anyway. I'm gonna try something though. I trying to get some type of a glow going on this right hand side, but I don't want it to turn green, which I think it did already. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. If y'all don't mind it, I don't mind it. Add a little extra. I don't know. Definitely gonna work on putting this guy's face together. Maybe Friday. That should be fun. Put some paint on him. Even though it's not too messy, it might be a good idea to refresh the palette. It really is listening to Tema's stream earlier today. It really is cool to listen to her really appreciate her work. She puts in so much work on it, and it's so awesome to hear artists actually enjoy their work. I know I am pretty self-deprecating sometimes. But it was a breath of fresh air to hear her enjoying what she's doing, seeing progress. Is kind of cool. Thanks for hanging out. Artfully Becoming. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Yeah, I'm about done here anyway. I'm gonna let the music play me out. I'm gonna clean up, drop in some brush strokes in here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on this on this Wednesday, this hump day. Earlier today was a workshop. Today is just hanging and banging. Thank you so much. I will see you guys on Friday. We'll do something. We'll finish painting my tiger. Finish painting this dude. Or maybe we'll do something different. Start from scratch. Who knows? Who cares? It'll be fun no matter what. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. I'm going to let the music play me out while I tidy up. This is Art to the Round Table. My name is Mello. God bless you. Love you. Mean it. And until next time, I will draw you later. Bye.